person should have his roots deep in a great moving current, a moving stream of conscious direction, which will keep him on course, sailing steadily toward the destination he's chosen, regardless of the economic and social winds that blow first this way and then that on the surface. In such a life, there's no great hurry, no frantic running about, no doubt or confusion. Instead, each day he moves a little way along his course, steadily, unrelentingly. And above all, he has the wonderful, calm knowledge of his destination, and knows that each day finds him closing the distance that still separates him from it. Sometimes in his life, as in all lives, there are storms which tend to throw him off course, and obstacles which for a time may delay him. But soon, he's right back on course again, moving ahead. His roots are firmly held by the steady stream of his belief. This is the life of the strong, serene person, the person of wisdom, the person who knows that he cannot do or become everything in his lifetime, so calmly chooses that which he desires, pushing everything else from his mind, and begins his life's journey. Until in a very few years, he's miles ahead of all but the few who live as he does.
Our attitude is something we can control. It is then our attitude toward life which determines life's attitude toward us, cause and effect. You and I are responsible for our lives. You and I produce causes all day long, every day of our lives. The environment can only return to us a corresponding effect. We get back what we put out. Attitude is the reflection of the person inside. I know the world will give me back what I put out in the way of attitude. So it's up to me. I'm responsible. A person with a poor attitude becomes a magnet for unpleasant experiences. When those experiences come, as they must because of his attitude, they tend to reinforce his poor attitude, thereby bringing more problems and so on. The person becomes an example of self-generating, doom-fulfilling prophecy. There are millions of human beings living narrow, darkened, frustrated lives, living defensively simply because they take a defensive, doubtful attitude toward themselves, and as a result toward life in general. Wherever you find a person doing an outstanding job and getting outstanding results, you'll find a person with a good attitude. These people take the attitude toward themselves that they can accomplish what they set out to accomplish. They take the attitude that achievement is the natural order of things, and it is. They have a healthy attitude toward themselves and as a result toward life and the things they want to accomplish. They have goals. They have a burning desire to succeed despite all handicaps. They know exactly what they want. They think about it every day of their lives. It gets them up in the morning and it keeps them giving their very best all day long. It's the last thing they think about before dropping off to sleep at night. They have a vision of exactly what they want to do, and that vision carries them over every obstacle. It's been said that what the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. As to luck, forget it. Luck is what happens when preparedness meets opportunity, and opportunity is there all the time. It's our attitude at the beginning of a difficult task which, more than anything else, will bring about its successful outcome. That, my friend, makes the difference. The secret of happiness is freedom, and the secret of freedom, courage. What the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. We become what we think about. I slept and dreamt that life was joy. I woke and saw that life was duty. I acted, and behold, duty was joy. We are at our very best, and we are happiest when we are fully engaged in work we enjoy on the journey toward the goal we've established for ourselves. The more intensely we feel about a goal, the more assuredly the idea buried deep in our subconscious will direct us along the path to its fulfillment. But whatever our goal happens to be, if we stay with it, if we're fully committed to it, we'll reach it. That's the way it works. Most seem to just drift along, taking circumstances as they come, and perhaps hoping from time to time that things will get better. If anyone can succeed, and millions do, so can you. Of one thing you may be sure, you will become what you think about. If your thinking is circular and chaotic, your life will reflect that chaos. But if your thinking is orderly and clear, if you have a goal that's important for you to reach, then reach it. You will. If you want to develop the muscles of your body, you take daily exercise of some sort. The mind is developed in the same way. The mind of man can lift anything. You see, you are at this moment the living embodiment of the sum total of your thoughts to this point in your life. You can be nothing else. Each one of us is in charge of his or her own life. Each one of us is completely responsible. The only thing in the world that can take you to your goals in life is your mind. You can measure opportunity with the same yardstick that measures the risk involved. They go together. Adversity introduces a person to himself. Now that's when we get to really know ourselves. That's when we come face to face with the real person we are and the stage of our maturity or growth to that point. Touch a thistle timidly and it pricks you. Grasp it boldly and its spines crumble. All problems become smaller if you don't dodge them but confront them. It's good to get rid of that word security once and for all.
A man on his own must think. He must devote more of his days to thinking. I'm talking about the man of action who gets out and raises the dust in the world. The man who risks all of his time on a goal he wants to reach, on a dream in his heart,